Hello everyone, my name is Christian. Thank you very much for stopping by. I'm just gonna go through some brief my brief experience in going through MEPS today. I just finished. It is now 8:31 in the morning. I started the process around 5:30, well, officially around 6 o'clock when things started opening up. So this is my second time going through MEPS. The first time I went through MEPS was in 2008. And I'm going through the Portland, Maine MEPS, which is smaller, significantly smaller than the one in Springfield that I went through. There was a lot less people this morning. This is on a Monday. So I was expecting to, for there to be more people, but there wasn't a lot. There was just about maybe like 4 females and about like 7 or 8 males. I believe I was the only officer candidate around that time, so I didn't have to do any MEPS. I didn't have to do any ASVAB or anything of that sort. So I just, the day started by just standing by because it was early in the morning. Somebody came downstairs. They lined everybody up in the wall. They made sure that they checked your bag if you have one with your belongings. They give you some instructions on what to do, especially when it comes to services. Like if you're in the Navy, you have to hand in your phone. They tell you what to do when you go up, and of course they'll give you a bit of a briefing about what to do whenever you're what will happen throughout the day, and just ensure that you're not lying, and make sure that you're listening at all times, use customs and courtesies, etc. Shortly after that, we went up to the third level 3, and I had to go through the security because that they already checked us downstairs. They told us to put stuff in the cubby. The folks that were in the Navy, they ultimately they got their cell phone. You have to make sure you bring your cell phone. You have your ID and your social security card. Put it in your pocket, and just wait to be checked in the front desk by the liaison. Once you get your badge in the front with the actual processing liaison, put the badge on, and you go see your whatever service liaison that you're looking into joining, and then you hand the phone to the liaison. At this point, the Navy, as I mentioned, they ask for your phone, so you just keep it there, and then they'll tell you to go away and go to the medical processing. You go to the medical processing session. The first thing that they do is just sit you down. They'll start checking you in. They'll give you a sheet with your information that they're gonna start filling out. And they'll also put the stickies on for like your blood work and your analysis test, stuff like that you're gonna need stickies for, so they'll put that there. And then after that, slowly they'll just start processing you. They also give you an informational sheet to tell you exactly what's gonna happen. So you read it and you just stand by. There wasn't a lot of wait time for us because there wasn't a lot of us. So we started with getting our blood pressure, and after the blood pressure, we stood by and we did our hearing test. And after the hearing test, that took about maybe 10 minutes, maybe 5 minutes. We stood by for another 5 minutes or so, and then they escorted us to do the vision test. And the vision test, they did color blindness test first. Then they did the perception test without glasses. I wear glasses because of stigmatism, so I did my perception test and my colorblind test, all that stuff without glasses. And then you do your nearsighted and short-sighted. I did very well on all that, so I got 20/20 vision without glasses, but I wear them anyways. And then after that, you go back into this room that's the briefing room after your vision test, and you stand by to get briefed. You fill out this Red Cross card while you wait. And then after that, as of March or February or March 2022, the briefing, the medical briefing, or basically the briefing that explains what it's going to happen throughout the day, it's about 26 slides, which, can constitute between 10 to 15 minutes, maybe 20 minutes. And after you're fully briefed about, what to do and what not to do, then you go and get ready for your urinalysis test. Actually, scratch that. The first thing you do for your urinalysis test is you go and get your breathalyzer test done. So after we did the breathalyzer test done, which is really quick, again, there wasn't a lot of us, so we just lined up. They explained exactly what we needed to do. We blew into the breathalyzer tube, clicked, and then show you the results. Of course, I was my alcohol was at 0, and then after that, then you were good to go there. Shortly after the breathalyzer test, you did the urinalysis test, and the urinalysis test, they just tell you to pee in a cup, and yeah, of course you can't really cheat. So at least 4 of us went in there. I was able to go right away because I drank a lot of water. So just a thought for you, drink a lot of water. One thing that I did omit, I believe it was right after the vision test, I ended up getting weighed and did the high end weight. So I did that. That took maybe a minute or so, and then I went back and got briefed. So once I was done with my urinalysis test, then I stood by, and then I was getting ready to get my blood drawn. I waited for about another couple of minutes, maybe 5 minutes or so, and then I went and got my blood drawn with someone else. Once you do your breathalyzer test, if you're at least in the Portland MEPS, if you are doing your ASVAB, if you're enlisted, if you're going in for enlisted, then you will go and do your ASVAB. For myself, I just, I didn't have to do the ASVAB because I have to go through the officer process, and that's just going through the board, and this is a different process for officers than enlisted. So I didn't have to do any testing. I did do the ASVAB before, so even if, I went through as enlisted, I'm 110%, I'm not 100% sure if I have to do it again, but I did do it before, so I didn't, and I do have an ASVAB score, so I'm not really sure if I will have to have done it again. But either way, I just kind of, once I did my blood test, then I was ready to do the physical. So I believe I was the first male in, so I went to see the chief medical officer. We talked for a little bit, we chit-chatted a little bit, and then he asked me a whole bunch of medical questions. He looked at the medical paperwork that I submitted. He didn't see anything, anything abnormal. And then he asked me very basic questions. You did drugs, you blah, blah, blah. Have you committed any crimes? I said none of that. Then he told me to undress into my underwear. So I took off my clothes, took my pants, shoes off, everything. And then he basically just went ahead and started first checking my lungs, told me to lay down for a little bit, check my lungs. And then, obviously you will check your genitals and stuff like that, to make sure that that's good to go. And then after that, he proceeded to give me a couple of exercises. He annotated that I had a couple small tattoos on my wrist, so that he annotated those. And then maybe that process was about 15-20 minutes, and then I was all set. Once I went back to the front, I just stood by for them to tell me that I was all set and to go to the front to see my liaison again. So at that point, I was done with the medical aspect of the exam. And then I went over to the liaison. The liaison sent me to get my fingerprints done. And then there was nobody there waiting for the fingerprint, so that was a whole 3 to 5 minutes, maybe less than that. And after my 3 to 5 minutes, um, they told me to go to the front. The front told me to go to the Navy liaison again. And they told me to pick up my phone and told me that I was all set. I think there was one Navy, one person, Navy personnel that's there that was about to conduct an interview, but because I was an officer, a candidate or officer, I'm going for officer, they were like, oh, they don't need to do that, probably because I'm gonna have to do a lot in this process. And then after that, I got sent to the front. I checked out. They were just checking. They were pretty surprised that I was done so early. I got done by like around, 8, about 8:30. I was done. And that was, well, less than 8:30. It was like 8:25. I was done with the entire process. Given that I've gone through this MEPS process before as enlisted back in 2008, this is probably the fastest time I've ever had processed through MEPS. Thank goodness, because it was, it was rough the first time around. And I messaged my recruiter, and I told them that I was done, and he was very surprised that I was like, oh, you're done? You're usually done by 11. Can you just stand by until 11? So I was like, okay, yeah, I can stand by, until 11. So it's now past 8:30, and I gotta wait another couple hours and a half to meet with my recruiter. I haven't done my SR 86 SF. I think it's FS or SR. I think it's F. One of those. I haven't done that. It's a SF 86. I haven't done that yet. So I'm gonna go to the recruiter's office later. I'm gonna fill out some paperwork there, and then I'm gonna continue throughout the process, the process of hopefully commissioning. So just wanted to share that with you. Hopefully it wasn't too bad or too convoluted, but that was my experience here in April of 2022. And I'll share another video with how the board and the rest of the paperwork and everything went. And that's probably be, once all that's done, and hopefully get selected. Or if I don't get selected, then I'll make a video about why I didn't get selected. So thank you very much for watching, and see you again soon. Thank you.